Okay, so what if the news you see every day isn't really news? That's the big idea from comedian Jim Breuer. He argues that what we're actually watching is a carefully built performance, one that's designed to distract us and to fight what he calls a spiritual battle for our energy. Breuer basically frames his whole argument around this one question. He's suggesting that there's this manufactured circus that's always being put in front of us, to grab our attention and get us all riled up. And for him, the very first step is just being able to see it for what it is. So what does one of these circus events actually look like in the wild? Well, Breuer breaks down a specific media moment to show us exactly what he thinks is going on behind the curtain, using one incident as a perfect case study. His go-to example is a news segment that featured Don Lemon. Now, in Brewer's eyes, this wasn't journalism at all. He saw it as a totally staged, inauthentic confrontation, a textbook example of a performance just meant to stir the pot. And Breuer is super blunt about this. He doesn't see people like Lemon as journalists in these moments. He straight up calls them paid actors, performers whose real job isn't to inform you, but to create chaos and keep their name in the headlines. So why do it? According to Breuer, the motivations have nothing to do with reporting the truth. He thinks it's about vanity, that need to get back in the spotlight. It's about money, being willing to say literally anything for a paycheck. And maybe most importantly, he believes the real goal is just to create chaos and division, which is an act he calls totally soulless. But here's where it gets deeper. For Breuer, this isn't just about creating drama for the sake of it. He argues that this whole circus actually serves a much more strategic purpose. It's one giant deflection. Yeah, in his own words, these huge media spectacles are designed to pull our focus away from much bigger, much more disturbing things happening in the world. It's like a magic trick, right? The louder the circus gets, the less we notice what's really going on behind the scenes. And this is the crucial part of his whole theory. Breuer doesn't think these things are random accidents. He argues they are completely well-scripted and well-orchestrated productions, just rolled out one after another to keep us constantly distracted and emotionally hooked on all the wrong things. All right, this is where Breuer's argument shifts from just media criticism to something else entirely. He sees this whole conflict as way more than just political or social. For him, the real battle is actually metaphysical. It's a fight over harvesting our energy. So, energy harvesting, what does he even mean by that? Well, in Breuer's world, it's when these negative forces, and he even calls them demons, intentionally try to provoke feelings in us like anger and fear. He believes their goal is to get us to feed them all that negative energy because it distracts us from positivity, from love, and from all the good stuff in our own lives. You can almost see it as a battlefield for your attention. On one side, you've got the negative energy they want to stir up. Anger, fear, division. And on the other side, there's the energy Breuer says we should be putting our time into. Love, light, unity, and just plain old goodness. As he sees it, the entire war is about which side you choose to feed. Okay, so if that's the massive problem, what's the solution? Well, Breuer actually offers some really direct, actionable advice. And it's not about fighting fire with fire. It's about choosing to walk down a completely different path. First off, he's very clear about where the solution is not going to come from. For Breuer, we can't be looking to politicians or celebrities to come and save the day. He thinks that relying on them is actually part of the trap. The real change has to come from within. He actually breaks it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, turn off the noise. Just disengage from the clown show. Step 2, consciously refuse to give them your negative energy. Stop feeding the anger and fear. And step 3, ground yourself. Focus your energy on what he says really matters. Love, faith, and just being a good person to the people around you. So, when you boil it all down, the ultimate takeaway from Breuer's point of view is a call for a totally different kind of unity. It's not a unity based on all of us fighting some common enemy the media gives us, but a unity built on a shared promise to positivity, to love, and to just ignoring the manufactured chaos that's built to tear us all apart. And in the end, Breuer's whole perspective really leaves us with a question that, honestly, all of us have to face. We're living in a world with an endless stream of content, of outrage, of entertainment. Our real power is in what we choose to give our attention to. So the question is, how do you decide where to spend your most valuable resource, your energy?